Alright, today we're looking at the United States International Trade Commission HTS Harmonized Tariff Schedule 2025 Revision 16. And we're going to look at the Harmonized Tariff Schedule of the United States for automotive products. So we're going to go down to General 5. Automotive Products Trade Act, general notes of the tariffs. So let's read. Alright, Harmonized Tariff Schedule of the United States Revision 16, 2025, and noted for the statistical reporting purposes, General Note Part 1, APTA, or Automotive Products and Motor Vehicle Eligible Special Tariff Treatment. Articles entitled entered under the Automotive Products Trade Act are subject to the following provision. Motor vehicles, original motor vehicle equipment within Canadian which are Canadian articles, which are provisions for which rate are duty free. B appears in a special solid column, may be entered in free duty as used in this note. Term Canadian article means an article with originates from Canada, defined in General Note 11. Term original motor vehicle is used with the reference Canadian article defined above, means such as Canadian article has been obtained from supplier Canada under pursuant written order, contract, letter, intent of bona fide motor vehicle manufacturer in the United States, which is for fabricated component originating in the Canada defined in General Note 11, intended with the original equipment manufactured in the United States of motor vehicle, but terms does not include trailers articles to be used in their manufacture. Term motor vehicle used in this note means a motor vehicle kind of described in headings 8702, 8703, 8704, and Chapter 87, excluding electrical trolley buses and three-wheeled vehicles or automobile, truck, tractor, principally designed for transportation of person and goods. Terms bona fide motor vehicle manufacturer means a person who upon application of Secretary of Commerce is determined by the Secretary to produce no fewer than 15 motor vehicles in the United States during the previous 12 months, installed capacity in the United States to produce 10 or more complete motor vehicles per 40-hour week. Secretary of Commerce shall maintain, publish from time to time, Federal Register, a list of names and address of bona fide motor vehicle manufacturers. If any Canadian article accorded with the status of original motor vehicle is not used to manufacture a United States motor vehicle, such as Canadian article or its value to be covered, importer or other person who diverted the article from intended use of original motor vehicle equipment shall be subject to failure unless the time of the diversion of the Canadian article the U.S. Customs Service is notified in writing and pursuant arrangements made within the service. 1. The Canadian article under customs supervision is destroyed or exported, or duty is paid to the United States government an amount equal duty which would have been payable at the time of entry. A Canadian article has not been entered in as an original motor vehicle equipment. Then we're going to skip over to General Notes 1, which is the original notes for the Harmonized Tariff Schedule of the United States Revision 16, 2025. Alright. We did a simple find text in document as general notes, and program products eligibility special tariff programs or special tariff treatment may provide with the corresponding symbols. Such programs are indicated in the special subcolumn as follows. Automotive Product Trade Act is the special character is B. And then we'll move to the next one. Then it reads Automotive Products Motor Vehicle Eligible Special Treatment Articles Automotive Product Trade Act are subject to the following provision. Motor vehicles original equipment of Canada, and we just read that, so we'll skip to the next. Automotive products original. Alright, special rules for automotive goods. Automotive goods, other motor vehicles or parts described herein shall be subject to applicable requirements set forth in the paragraph, including respect to passenger or light truck, has been authorized alternative special regime described in subparagraph 8, applicable requirements, duration, alternative staggering period specified in approval. Definitions and subdivision: advanced technology vehicle. Advanced technology means an electric vehicle, including hybrid electrical vehicle, fuel cell vehicle, or other types of advanced propulsion vehicle, zero emissions, or autonomous vehicles heading at 8703, 870, or 8704, classified level 4, level 5 automated vehicles in accordance with the Society of American Engineers International SAE 3016 2016. Taxonomy definition: term related driving automation systems on road motor vehicles is amended. Alternative stacking regime: the term alternative stacking regime means application pursuant to subdivision K8, notice of the requirement article 8 of Automotive Appendix production covered vehicles to allow producer such vehicles to bring such production compliance with requirements of article 2 through 7 inclusive of the appendix in terms prescribed in applicable regulations. Alternative staging regime period. The alternative staging regime period means a period during which alternative staging regime is in effect. Automotive appendix. Automotive appendix means appendix to Annex 4B of the USMCA relating to the product-specific rules origins for automotive goods as reflected in subdivision O of this note. E. Automotive good. Automotive good means covered vehicle, part of the component material table A1, A2, B, C, D, E, F. Appendix subject to the provisions included regulations of the Secretary of Treasury. Automotive rules of origin. Term automotive rules of origin means rules of origin for automotive goods set forth in the automotive appendix. Class motor vehicles. The term class motor vehicles means one of the following categories: motor vehicles, subheading 870120, motor vehicles transport of 16 or more persons, subheading 870210, 870290, motor vehicles, subheading 870410, 870422, 23, 32, or 90, or headings of 8705 and 8706. Motor vehicles, subheading 870110 through 870130 through 870190. Motor vehicles transport 15 fewer persons, subheading 870210 or 870290. Motor vehicles, subheading 870421, 870431. Motor vehicles, subheading 870321 to 870390. Commissioner. The term commissioner means commissioner of the U.S. Customs Border Protection. Covered vehicles means a passenger vehicle, light truck, heavy truck. Interagency committee. Interagency committee means interagency committee established under Section 202A(b)(1) of the USMCA Implementation Act. Model line. The term model line means a group of motor vehicles having the same platform or model name. Motor vehicle assembler means producer of motor vehicles, any related person, joint ventures in which producer participates. New building means a new construction including at least a pouring or construction of a new foundation, floor erection, a new structure, roof, installing new plumbing, electrical, other utilities to house complete vehicle assembly process. Passenger vehicle, light and heavy truck. For purpose of this note, the term passenger vehicle, light truck, and heavy truck have means given in those of the terms therein. Purpose of the note with the term off-road use refers to a vehicle that does not meet the U.S. federal safety emission standards permitting unrestricted on-road use or the equivalent Mexican, Canadian on-road standards. Passenger vehicle. The term passenger vehicle means a vehicle subheading 870321 through 870390 except a vehicle compression ignition engine classified in subheadings 870331 through 33 and vehicle subheading 870390 with both compression ignition engine and electrical motor for propulsion. 3 or 4-wheeled motorcycles, all-terrain vehicles, meaning vehicle that does not meet U.S. federal safety emission standards permitting unrestricted on-road use equivalent Mexican, Canadian on-road standards, or a motorhome entertainer coach, meaning a vehicle built with self-propelled motor vehicle chassis that is solely principal designed as a temporary living quarters, recreational camping, entertainment, corporate, or seasonal use. Light truck. The term light truck means a vehicle subheading 870421 or 870434 except for the vehicle that is solely or principal off-road use. Heavy truck means a vehicle subheading 870120, 870422, 870423, 32, and 90 or 8706 except for the vehicle solely principal off-road use. Purpose of this note: good of heading 8706 means the chassis fitted with the engines for vehicles under subheading 870120 to 870422, 23, 32, or 870490 except for the vehicle solely in principle designed for off-road use. Alright, retro refit means plant closure, purpose of plant conversion, retooling that lasts at least 3 months. Supercore, term supercore means part listing left column table A2 automotive appendix of considered with a single part of the purpose performing regional connection accordance provisions note Article 5.2 USMCA appendix concerning averaging. Alright, your staging regional value content requirements, notwithstanding over the regional value content requirements of passenger vehicle or light truck, 66% under the net cost method of beginning on July 20th, and then 69 the next year, 72 2022, 75% 75% of the net cost method beginning in July 1st, 2023 and thereafter. Nothing withstanding subdivision O of this note of the regional value content requirement as part of the table listed A1 automotive appendix that is used in passenger vehicle or light truck. 66% of next cost method, 76% under transaction value method of conspire. Corresponding rule subdivision includes O, transaction value method beginning July 1st, 2020. And then up to date, 75% under the next cost method, 85% under transaction value method. If corresponding rule subdivision includes transaction value method beginning July 1st, 2023 thereafter. Notwithstanding subdivision over the net of this note part table A1 automotive appendix for use of the passenger vehicle light truck without originating only satisfied with the regional value content requirement in subdivision K3B, except for battery subheading 8507060 with the use of the primary source of electrical power for propulsion of an electrical passenger vehicle or light truck. Notwithstanding subdivision 0 of the note with the regional value content requirement part listed in table B of the automotive appendix for the use of the passenger vehicle light truck. Alright, we're going to read the 62.5% under the net cost method and 72.5% on the transaction value method. Corresponding subdivision will include transaction value method beginning July 1st, 2020, and then up to date 70% of the next net cost method, 80% on the transaction value method. Corresponding rule subdivision include transaction value method beginning January 1st, 2023 thereafter. Notwithstanding regional value content requirements of subparagraph apart listed in table B of the automotive appendix originating meets the applicable change tariff classification requirement provided in subdivision O of this note. E, notwithstanding O of the regional value content requirement of parts listed in table C of the automotive appendix for use of the passenger light vehicle. And then we're going to go, moving on to part 4, 65% on the next cost method, 75% under the transaction value method. If corresponding rule subdivision includes transaction method only July 1st, 2023 thereafter. Notwithstanding the regional value content requirements of parts listed in table C, automotive appendix originate meets the applicable change tariff classification requirement provided in subdivision O of this note. For the purpose of the calculating regional value content under A through E subdivision provision subdivision C1 regional value content C8 value materials used in production C10 further adjustment value materials C9 intermediate materials and subdivision and averaging apply for the purpose of note with a passenger vehicle light truck originating only with the parts column 1 table A2 automotive appendix may further describe applicable regulations including provisions uniform regulations used in production passenger vehicle light truck originating such part originating only in satisfied with the regional value content requirement subdivision B except for the advanced battery. For the purpose of calculating regional value content under subdivision C1 for this note, the part under column 1 table A2 of automotive appendix and non-originating material VNM value of non-originating materials or V&M is at the vehicle's producer's option. Value of non-originating materials used in production of the part. 2. Value of non-originating components production of the part listed in column 2 of the table A2 such appendix. For the subparagraph H of regional value content may also be calculated at the producer's option for parts under column 1 table A2 automotive appendix single part using a sum of the net cost of each part listed in column 1 A2 such appendix with calculating the value of non-originating materials producer's option. For the sum of the value of the non-originating materials used for the production part of the under column 1, and the sum of the value of only those non-originating components under column 2, A2 of the automotive appendix production parts over the listed in column 1, A over such a table. If the regional value content required threshold subparagraph 1, 2 all meets table A2 appendix originating passenger vehicle, truck, light considered to have met requirements under subparagraph H above, notwithstanding the provision note, regional value content requirement heavy truck. We're looking at right now it's the 64% under the net cost method beginning July 1st, 2024, or 70% under the net cost method beginning July 1st, 2027 thereafter, notwithstanding any of the provisions of the note with the regional value requirement part listed in Table D with the automotive appendix for use of heavy truck. And we'll move on to the most recent 64% under the cost method, 74% of the transaction value method, corresponding value. Subdivision O note includes transaction value method beginning July 1st, 2024, 70% under the net cost method, 80% of the transaction value method. Corresponding rule subdivision notes include transaction value method beginning July 1st, 2027 and thereafter. Notwithstanding subdivision O of this note, regional value content requirement part listed table E, automotive appendix with a heavy truck. And we're looking at 54% of the net cost method, 64% of the transaction value method. Corresponding rule subdivision include transaction value method beginning July 1st, 2024, and 60% of the net cost method, 70% under transaction value method. Corresponding rule subdivision include transaction method value method beginning July 1st, 2027 thereafter. Now we're seeing the provision of this part 8407 and 8408, or subpart 8708, 40 chassis classified subheading 870899 for use in a heavy truck originating only and satisfy applicable regional value content requirements subdivision B above. For the purpose of calculating regional value of the passenger vehicle, light truck, heavy truck calculation be average of producer official year with one of the following categories based for either all motor vehicles category, only those many motor vehicles category exported with the territory of one or more of the USMCA countries, same model line of motor vehicle, same class of vehicle produced in the same plant of the territory of USMCA country. The same class of motor vehicle produced in the same plant, territory, USMCA country. Same model line, same class of motor vehicles produced in the territory, USMCA country. Any other category, USMCA country may be decided provided with uniform regulations of their appropriate instruments. For purpose of calculating regional value content, automotive good list table A1, B, C, D, and E of the automotive appendix produce the same plant, supercore passenger vehicle, light truck. Calculation may be average over official year of the motor vehicle producer whom the good is sold over in a quarter or a month, official year producer, automotive material, or any other category subdivision A1 through A4 above, provided that the good was produced in official year, quarter, month of the basic calculation, which average subparagraph A calculated separated goods sold to one or more motor vehicle producers, or average subparagraph A, B calculated separately those goods exported to the territory of another USMCA country. Alright, 5. Your steel and aluminum rules, additional provision, subdivision C and O of the note requirement, automotive appendix, passenger vehicle, light truck, heavy truck originating during time period of subdivision B. 5B, below at least 70% of the vehicle producer purchase steel value territories, USMCA countries, vehicle producer and purchases aluminum value territories, USMCA countries. Alright, originating goods. Requirement paragraphs apply for the vehicle producer of the corporate purchase of the territory of the USMCA countries includes the producer more than one location of the USMCA country steel and aluminum is purchased. Such purchases of steel and aluminum include direct purchases, purchase service center purchases contracted through supplier, notwithstanding any other provisions of this note. Beginning July 1st, 2027, the steel considered originating under this note. All steel manufacturing processes must occur in one or more of the USMCA countries except for metallurgic processes involving the refinement of steel additives. Such processes include initial melting, mixing, continues through the coating and stage. Requirement does not apply to raw materials used in steel manufacture process, including steel scrap, iron ore, pig iron reduced, processed, or pelletized iron ore or raw alloys. For the purpose of determining the vehicle's producer's purchase of steel and aluminum, paragraph B5A above, producers may calculate the purchase over the previous fiscal year of the producer, over the previous calendar year, over the quarter or month due of the vehicle is exported, over the product of fiscal year, over the date of the vehicle is exported, over the calendar year to date in which the vehicle is exported. Steel, aluminum calculation based on the producer previous fiscal year valid duration producer current fiscal year steel aluminum calculation based previous calendar year valid duration current calendar year. Regulations include provision uniform regulations made additional description of steel and aluminum subject to 5A above such tariffs provision and product description to facilitate implementation requirement. Labor value content. In addition, provision, subdivision, or any other applicable provision of the note subject to the regulation issued by the Secretary of Treasury Constellation, Secretary of Labor, passenger vehicle originating only if the vehicle producer certified with the production meets us a labor value content requirement of, let's move on to the most recent. And so it would be 40% consisting of at least 25% points, high wage material, manufacturing expenditures more than 10% points, of technology expenditures no more than 5% of the high wage assembly expenditures on July 2023 and thereafter. In addition, provisions of the subdivision or any other requirement of the note, light truck, heavy truck, originating of the vehicle producer certified with the production of the LVC requirement of 45%, which was LVC was the labor value content requirement of 45% consisting of at least 30% points, high wage material manufacturing expenditures no more than 10% of the points, high wage technology expenditures no more than 5% points, high wage assembly expenditures. High wage material manufacturer expenditures, high wage technology expenditures, highway assembly expenditures described on paragraph 6A and 5B are calculated as follows. High wage material manufacturer expenditures, annual purchase value, purchase parts, materials produced in plant, facility produced, Alexa labor cost, vehicles, assembly plant, or facilities located in North America with a production wage rate at least US $16 an hour as a percentage of the net cost of the vehicle, or a total vehicle plant assembly of annual purchase value, including a producer's elect any labor cost, vehicle assembly, or plant value. High wage technology expenditure, annual vehicle procedure expenditure, producer expenditure, North American on wages, research development, information technology, a percentage of total annual vehicle producer expenditures on production wages in North America. High wage assembly expenditures, expeditionaries, and single credit no more than 5% points. Vehicle producer demonstrate that it has an engine assembly, transmission assembly, or an advanced battery assembly plant, or long-term contracts with such plant. North American average production wage at least US $16 an hour. Production wage or average hour base wage rate, not including benefits employees directly involved with the production part of the calculated labor value content, does not include the salaries, management, research, development, engineering, other works not involved with the production of the parts or orientation, operation, and production lines. High wage material manufacturing expense may also be calculated with taking annual purchase value, purchase parts of the material processed by a plant, facility located territories, USMCA country production wage rate, at least US $16 an hour, percentage total vehicle plant assembly, annual purchase value, percentages, applicable provisions, regulations, including provision of uniform regulations. Research and development expenditures include expenditure for research and development, include prototype development, design, engineering, testing, certifying operations. IT expenditures include expenditures software development, technology integration, vehicle communications, information technology supply operations. In the case of passenger light vehicles, order received with a credit described in subparagraph 3, high wage engine assembly transmission assembly plant must have a production capability of at least 100,000 originating engines of transmission. Advanced battery assembly plants must have a production capacity of at least 25,000 originating assembly advanced battery packs. In this case, heavy truck and high wage engine transmission battery assembly plants must have a capacity of at least 20,000 originating engine transmission assembled advanced battery packs. To receive credit, engine transmission advanced battery packs need to separately qualify as originating in order to meet the requirement. Right, passenger vehicles. For purposes of the labor value cost of the passenger vehicle, light truck, heavy truck, with a calculation average of one of the following categories based for all other motor vehicles in the category. Only those vehicles categories exported to the territory one or more other than the USMCA countries. Same model line motor vehicles, same class vehicles produced, same plant territory, USMCA country, same class of motor vehicles produced in the same plant and territory of the USMCA country, same model line motor vehicles class of motor vehicles produced in the territory of USMCA country. Any other category USMCA countries may decide. For the purposes of determining the labor value cost, paragraph A or B above included any of the alternate stage regime described in paragraph 8 may implement. The producer may calculate labor value costs over one of the following periods: previous fiscal year of the producer, previous calendar year, quarter, month to date in which the vehicle is produced or exported, produced, fiscal year of the day with the vehicle produced or exported, calendar year of the day to the vehicle produced or exported, labor value cost calculation producer via previous fiscal year, valid duration producer, current fiscal year, labor value cost calculation based on previous calendar year of the duration, current calendar year. For the period of July 1st, 2022, the vehicle certifies labor value cost heavy truck higher than 45% increasing amount with a high wage material manufacturer expenditure above 30 percentage points of the producer may use the points above 30 percentage points of credits toward regional value content percentages under this note, provided with the regional value content percentage is not below 60%. Certification verification respective provisions note automotive appendix includes steel and aluminum requirements described in paragraph 5, labor value content requirements and value 6, and subject applicable regulations, including uniform regulations, alternative stage regimes, any much further further provided in subchapter 22, chapter 99, tariff schedule, passenger vehicle, light vehicle, may originate pursuant to the alternative staging regime, provided alternative stage regime has authorized U.S. Trade Office for the U.S. Trade Representative during the period of regime in effect. An alternative stage regime eligible passenger vehicle or light trucks must meet requirements of applicable regulations, including provision of uniform regulations subject to term plans authorized by the Office of the U.S. Trade Representative. For the purpose of the subparagraph of the vehicle eligible for preferential tariff treatment under the alternative staging regime, the United States Trade Representative determined the producer of the vehicle will not be able to meet applicable requirements for the alternative staging regime has expired. As determined, the producer vehicle failed to step forth and request alternative stage regime, not able to meet the requirements of the alternative staging regime has expired. Result of such failure provided false misleading in its request, or has failed to notify the USTR material changes in circumstances that prevent meeting applicable requirements after alternative staging regime is expired. The RVC or other motor vehicles notwithstanding provisions of this note with the regional value content requirement of 62.5% of the net cost for a motor vehicle that transports 15 or fewer persons of heading A70210 or A70290 passenger vehicle compression ignition engine primary motor propulsion subheading A7300321 through 90 of 3 four-wheeled motor cycle vehicle subheading A70321 through A7300390 motorhome and entertainer coach subheading A73003 and 21 through 90 ambulance hearing prison van subheading A73002 2190 vehicles solely principal off-road use of subheading A70321, 87 through A70390, vehicle subheading A70421 or A70431 solely principal off-road use, a good heading at A704 or A8408 subheading A70840, their use of the motor vehicle in subparagraph 1, notwithstanding provision subdivision O with a note with the regional value content requirement 60% of the net cost method, a good motor vehicle heading at 8701 except for the subheading A70120 motor vehicle transport 16% or subheading motor vehicle a good heading at A704, 8408, subheading A70840, used motor vehicle in subparagraph 1 above. Subheading a good paragraph 2 above, subheading 8482, 10, 8482, 80, 84, 8320, or 84, 8330. A good table F automotive appendix subject to the regional value content requirements that use in the motor vehicle subparagraph 1 and 2 above. For the purpose of calculating regional value content and its cost method, the good motor vehicle provided in paragraph AB with a good list table F of the automotive appendix for original equipment production good. Paragraph A1 component table G for the appendix of the E for the original equipment production motor vehicle. Paragraph B1 above of the valuing not originating materials G for the producer production good should be the sum of each product material used in the producer listed in table F or G. Table G is such appendix with the not producer the producer choice of the product and producer determined in accordance to applicable provisions. Note with the regional value content value of such material is non-originating value, non-originating material U of the production of such material value of non-originating material U of the provider, producer that not listed in the table F or G of the automotive appendix determined in accordance with the applicable provision. Note with the regional value content. For the purpose of the calculating regional value content motor vehicle paragraph A and B, producers may of average calculation fiscal year any one of the following categories based either the all motor vehicle in category of these motor vehicles and in the category exported for the territory of one or more USMCA countries. Same model line motor vehicles, same class vehicles produced in the same plant over the territory of USMCA country. Same class of motor vehicles produced in the same plant territory of USMCA country. Same model line motor vehicle produced in the territory of USMCA country. Purpose of calculating regional value content good list table F automotive appendix components material list in table G with such appendix produced in the same plant producers good may average in its calculations over official year motor vehicle produced and goods sold over a quarter or a month over official year of the goods sold with the aftermarket part. Calculate average subparagraph 1 separately goods sold one or more vehicle producers respect for the calculation in paragraph. Calculate average separate over the goods and exported territory one or more USMCA countries. Regional value content requirement motor vehicles intended in paragraph A or B shall be 50% of 5 years after the date of the first motor vehicle prototype produced in the plant by a motor vehicle assembly. Motor vehicle and class mark A, except the motor vehicle identified in paragraph B above size of the category unbodied previously produced by a motor vehicle or similar territory any of the USMCA country. Plant consists of new building motor vehicle which is assembled. Plant contains some substantial all new machinery used in assembly motor vehicle. 50% of the 2 years of the date of the first motor vehicle prototype produced in plant following refit with a different motor vehicle class mark A, except for the motor vehicle identified in paragraph B size category underbody assembled motor vehicle assembly in the plant before retrofit. Alright, so we are now moving on to I'm not sure if this applies, but definitions: aquaculture, fungal material, and alright, we're moving on to we'll cut the tape there. I'm going to look for the automotive appendixes.